Okay, well, next up, we get to hear from someone else who I saw a couple of weeks ago in Ohio, my longtime friend and pro life advocate, Mark Harrington from Created Equal. Mark, how are you this evening?
Doing great. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, and we were having a little fun before the webcast started. I was trying to convince Mark that he needed to wear a tie, but he just wouldn't do it. He was just like, "No, I'm going to be casual for tonight." Mark, I appreciate so much all that you do to advocate for life, and you are an illustration, as well as the people that you lead through Created Equal, in what one person can do to make a difference. And sometimes we look at the Goliath of the abortion industry and Planned Parenthood, and is it really possible to be able to topple this giant? But can one person really make a difference? That's what I want to ask you. And what are some specific activities that a person can help with right now in this struggle, regardless of where they live?
Well, that's a great question. I was reflecting on our battle here in Ohio and also across the nation. And of course, we refer to the pro abortion industry as the Goliath, and they certainly are. And so, what I did is I went back and read the story today. And what I was struck with was that what David was facing, of course, he was facing Goliath and the Philistines, but the real enemy was fear, because it says in First Samuel that the armies of Israel heard the words of Goliath and they were dismayed and greatly afraid. And see, that's what we're facing. Although we're facing the Goliath of the abortion industry for sure, we're facing fear as well. And in the story of David and Goliath, we know that David prevailed because of his faith and his courage. And so it is with us. We all know the numbers. The other side raises more money. They spend more money. They control much of the institutions in our nation, a lot of the politics and so forth, especially in Washington, D.C. and elsewhere. But we serve a living God. And so it is with us as we look at this battle here in Ohio, and we're going to be, in 2024, we're going to be facing many more of these. In the natural, it doesn't seem possible, but again, we serve a living God who's capable of pulling off these victories. So I would just say this, just as David was one person, he took down Goliath, and then the armies of Israel, vanquished the Philistines. One person can make a difference on the webcast tonight. No matter where you are, you can make phone calls. And if you live in Ohio, or you could come to Ohio, or know someone who lives in Ohio, we can put you to work going door to door. Created Equal is running the volunteer door to door and phone banking effort. SBA Pro Life America is running the paid version of that. Combined, we're hoping to reach over 500,000 people knocking on doors. But if you live in Ohio or you want a phone bank, you simply go to createdequal.org/issue1. You can fill out a little volunteer form there and just check the boxes whether you want a door-to-door door knock, or whether you want to phone bank, and then we'll get in touch with you and set you up, put you in the portal, and get you working with the ICE 360 app. So again, createdequal.org/issue1. If you're in Ohio, we need you to go door to door. We got 2 weeks left. We're hoping from a volunteer standpoint to knock on 150,000 doors just ourselves with the network that we have in Ohio. And then you can also be set up to phone bank anywhere in the country. So again, createdequal.org/issue1. And I'll close with this, David. And this is just something that I did with my team earlier this year. I made a banner and I put the words "no regrets" on it, and I hung it over the door as our staff and volunteers come inside our office. And I shared with our people, I said, when it comes to November 8th, I want us all to have no regrets. And now that doesn't mean that we might have regrets on strategy, and maybe we could have done this differently, or maybe spent money here or not there. But we didn't want to have regrets when it came to our effort. And see, I think everyone on this call can do something to help us in Ohio. And the main thing they can do, of course, is the phone bank. So that's my call to action. Don't have any regrets come November 8th. Help us in Ohio, because as others said, this is for all the marbles here. We've got to stop them here. We don't want to go 0 for 7.
Amen. Mark Harrington, thank you so much. It was your telling me about that banner that really provoked the thoughts that had me on the plane the next day saying, what more can I do? Because I don't want to be in that place. And I would just encourage everyone tonight to just say, even if you're just learning about the Ohio battle tonight for the first time, the election's November 7th. November 8th, you're going to wake up and you're going to look in the mirror and you're going to ask yourself, did I do everything I could? And every one of us can pray. Every one of us can spread the word, and every one of us can make phone calls regardless of where we are. Or if you're somebody like my friend Patty O'Halloran from Texas who said, I'm just going to go to Ohio and go knock on doors. Maybe there are some who can do that. And for everybody in Ohio, please do everything you can. Go to createdequal.org/issue1. We'll also have that link in a call to action at the very end here. Mark, thank you, brother. I really appreciate you. And thank you for your leadership on this effort at this critical time.
Thanks for having me.
You bet.